Hello, everyone. Thanks for stopping by today. I've got a little bit of a product share and a fun card project. So stick around if you want to see what I make. So I was visiting my sister who lives a couple of hours away from me, and I ended up coming across a craft store, which I had shopped online before, but I had never been into the store. So I popped in to take a peek and see what I could find. I ended up picking up some of these waffle flower postage things. They've been quite popular as of late, and there are all different kinds of companies coming out with postage themed stamps and die sets. So I thought I would check that out. But this is what I wanted. I wanted this Tonic Studios precision trimmer. Now, I have all of the paper cutters I would ever need in my life. I have multiple different cutters. I've got a rotary trimmer, a guillotine trimmer, a small one, a big one. I've got them all. And these types of trimmers are my favorite because they have like the little clear guide with a ruler and the little drop down blade. And this particular trimmer comes with an extra blade as well as a scoring tool. And I bought a couple of extra blades too because I know that I'll go through them. So this is pretty easy to pop the blades on and off to change them. And I just wanted to get a feel for how this cut. So I put a piece of cardstock in and it sliced through very nicely. I really liked the way it cut. But what I really liked the most was sort of this spring ruler. So it kind of sits on these little springs, and then when I want to slide my paper in, I can slide it in and then press the ruler down to cut it. It just really gives me the ability to line up my paper where I want it without having that ruler resting on my paper. One other feature here is that the score tool and the cutting blade can stay in the track at all times. Now, I probably most likely won't use the score tool, so I'm just going to pop that out and just stick that in my drawer. It'll probably never see the light of day. I like my big scoreboard and I like my stylus scoring tool, so I'll use those things for scoring and use this precision trimmer. What I also like about it is that the blade itself has little points, so you can start or stop in the middle of your paper and not have to slice all the way through, and you can see sort of, the measurements where you're starting and stopping, if that makes sense. I recommend trimmers like this because of the precision that you get from it, whereas a guillotine or a rotary trimmer, you're just going to cut and that's all you're going to get. Here you get a little bit more versatility. And then it also has the little extendable arms that goes up to, I think, 12 inches, 12 and a half or 12 inches, something like that. And it has at the bottom too. Just want to show you those measurements. And yeah, so I'm going to try out this trimmer and see how I like it. But I'm going to get into some of the products here and I'm going to make a project. One of the things I also picked up was a large grip mat. I have a smaller one, and I really like these for ink blending and holding your cardstock down and working on your surface and not having to use tape. So I like that for that purpose. Now, this grip mat comes with little acetate sheets that you can put on the back to help you line up your cardstocks. I had it on backwards. I just had to peel it away and re-stick it down. But what's good about this is that it doesn't cover the whole background. There's still like a 1/4 inch of photopolymer left around the edges so that when I want to, I can set it down on my work surface and it's going to be easy to pick up, but it's not going to slide so much because of that 1/4 inch. So I've got a piece of cardstock here that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm going to line it up on those grid marks on that acetate sheet, and I can see right through that on my grip mat. I'm going to take the stencil for the Waffle Flower Postage Collage blocks. Now, this you can use on its own or with other coordinating stamp sets. And in this situation, I only had the stencil. I didn't have the stamp set that goes with it. So I pulled out one of my own stamp sets. I feel like this sort of product you can use with anything you have. It doesn't have to work together with other waffle flower designs. You can use it with anything, really. So I've got some Gina K inks and I have this Gina K Vintage Roses. And I thought I would just stamp a pattern around my cardstock. I'm using some turquoise sea ink, and I'm going to ink up a couple of those roses in each one of those little sections and just kind of randomly stamp around, put a little bit in each box. And then I'm going to switch over to a smaller rose, and I'll switch to another color. This is wild dandelion, and I'll pop a few roses in there. And then lastly, I want to use a green for my leaf, and I've got Lucky Clover. The colors that I'm using today just happen to be out on my desk already. I didn't pick them. They were from a previous project I had used, and I thought, well, they're here. Let's try them out. So I did, and this is what I've come up with. The next thing I'm going to do is stamp a crooked sentiment on my background, and you can't tell how crooked it is until later when I take it off and look at it, but it's too late now. The next thing I'm going to do is ink blend some soft ink on the background. I've got jennycarddesigns Ocean Mist, and I just want to lightly add that color in so that it's not too distracting, but at least it kind of identifies each of those little open areas. And then when we peel away the stencil, we'll have that really cool background. And you'll see what I mean here. So when we peel this away, we have each little box. So I think that's really cute. I love the way this turns out. And then I'll just peel this up from my grip mat. And I'm going to take the coordinating dies. I did get this coordinating die to this stencil, and it cuts out all of your little postage stamps. And it has this dotted detail where you can separate the stamps, and it also has some stitched borders as well. So I really like the way this looks. You can cut those stamps apart if you wanted, but I'm going to leave them as one big sheet. And then I'm going to grab some shimmer cardstock. I have this shimmer cardstock sitting on my desk here, and I thought just this sort of tone of blue would really tie in nicely to that ocean mist color and just create a little bit of interest in the background. So I grabbed some foam squares, I pop up my postage stamp panel, and put everything on a white card base. And there we go. Perfect. I love the way this turns out, even though my hello is crooked. The next thing I'm going to do is pop a few little flat confetti sequins on here, and these are almost like a tealish green, and I thought just those colors really played nicely with everything that I had. All right, so that's going to be it. So this kind of crazy product share video, mega card, all those things all mixed into one. I will leave a link in the description box down below for the craft store that I was shopping at, the products that I picked up, and that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I appreciate the support as always. Coming up on screen is a playlist of some videos I think you may enjoy. Have yourself a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!